Long, long ago, there was a kingdom called Panchala, and Drupada was its king. For many years, he had no children. So, in order to get children, he performed tapas, which means day and night he only thought of God and prayed to him. Later, God blessed him with 2 children. The first was a son called Drishtyadyumna, and the second a daughter called Draupadi. Draupadi was as good as she was beautiful. When she grew up, she charmed everyone with her soft words and sweet conduct. Her father wanted her to marry the most heroic prince. So, Drupada arranged a Swayamvara. Invitations were sent out to the kings and princes of all countries, far and near. The palace was decorated with sparkling diamonds and other precious stones. The kings and princes gathered in hundreds, eager to marry the princess. So, King Drupada arranged for a contest. At the center of the hall, a mechanical device was erected. On it was placed a revolving object in the shape of a fish. The reflection of this revolving fish could be seen in the water below. A very heavy bow was kept nearby. Anyone who desired the hand of Draupadi in marriage had to lift the huge bow, bend it and tie the bowstring. Looking at the reflection, he had to take aim with the arrow and hit the rotating fish. The prince who wins will be the worthy suitor to marry Draupadi. Many of the assembled kings retreated as soon as they heard of this contest. Of those who came forward to try their hand, could not even lift the heavy bow. The hundreds of princes who had come to marry Draupadi were all beaten.
It is a shame that there is not even a single warrior.
I am here. Who is this Brahmin?
I can hit the target.
He could hardly carry the bow.
Why does he undertake these adventures?
Arjuna, in the form of a Brahmin, walked boldly towards the bow. He lifted it easily as if it was light like a straw. He twanged the bowstring and aimed the arrow, looking down at the water. He shot the arrow and hit the revolving fish the next moment.
Marvelous! Excellent! He is the real hero!
The entire hall was stunned.
Brahman, young hero, you have proved your valor. I will give my daughter to you.
Arjuna married Draupadi and took her away with him. The Pandavas returned home from the Swayamvara hall. Mother, we have brought a priceless gift. Kunti was inside the house and did not see what they had brought.
Divide it equally among you.
The Pandavas were shocked to hear these words. Kunti was equally shocked when she saw the lovely princess with her sons. A mother's words must be obeyed. So, Draupadi became the wife of the Pandavas. But Drupada was worried. The great sage Vyasa said that Draupadi was born to be the wife of the 5 Pandavas, and Drupada was satisfied. The marriage took place with great splendor in the presence of Sri Krishna. Draupadi became the wife of the 5 Pandavas. Bhima, the eldest of the royal family of the Kurus, Drona, the royal teacher, were both very happy, and they gave the Pandavas half the kingdom. The Pandavas made the city of Indraprastha their capital. After some time, they thought of performing the great sacrifice of Rajasuya. A huge and wonderful hall was constructed. The beauty, grandeur, and decoration of the assembly hall for the yagna made everyone speechless with wonder. Sri Krishna personally supervised the performance of the Rajasuya sacrifice. The Kauravas were not happy to see the prosperity of their cousins. Unfortunately, Duryodhana was put to shame there. In the new palace, he saw a polished floor and thought it was a pool of water. So, he walked lifting his dhoti. Draupadi, who was looking at this, could not control, and she burst into laughter. Duryodhana became furious. He entered the next hall. There was really a pond of water, but Duryodhana thought it was a polished floor. When he placed his leg in the pond, he slipped and fell inside. Draupadi burst into laughter again. Duryodhana was wild with anger. He vowed that he would punish Draupadi and put her to shame. After a few days, Duryodhana sent an invitation to Yudhishthira to play a game of dice. Yudhishthira was very fond of gambling, but he was not an expert. Shakuni, uncle of the Kauravas, was a very experienced player. Yudhishthira went on losing. He offered his chariots, horses, and elephants as stakes and lost them. Lost his royal treasures, offered all his servants as stakes and lost them. He lost his kingdom too. Finally, he and his 4 brothers became the slaves of the Kaurava king.
Yudhishthira, this is the last game. If you win, all that you have lost so far will be given back to you. Offer Draupadi as the stick. Win back your kingdom.
Yudhishthira was drunk with the excitement of gambling. All right, throw the dice. The dice were thrown and the Kauravas won. Duryodhana burst into a wicked laugh.
Draupadi is now my servant. Drag her here.
The Pandavas felt as if their hearts were stabbed. They bent their heads in shame. Draupadi was in her queenly apartment. Yudhishthira has lost you in a game of dice and Duryodhana has won. So now you must serve in Dhritarashtra's palace. Draupadi almost fainted on hearing the news.
Can anyone offer his wife as a stake in any gamble? If Yudhishthira had lost himself earlier, then he had no right to offer me as a stake. Did King Yudhishthira first offer himself or me as a stake? Find out and come back.
The messenger informed Duryodhana. Hearing his words, Duryodhana was very angry.
A servant woman should have a short tongue. Dushasana, go and drag her here by her hair and bring her to me.
Dushasana dragged Draupadi by her hair to the royal court.
Yudhishthira lost everything. Finally, he staked you also. You are now my servant.
It was a crowded royal court. Many were elders in it. Dhritarashtra, Bhima, Drona, Kripa and Vidura. Draupadi looked at them all with eyes eager for help. But no one spoke. All the elders were silent. The subjects were stunned. Her husbands sat with their heads bowed.
Where righteousness and justice do not exist, it ceases to be a court. It is a gang of robbers.
Draupadi, you are our servant. Come and sit on my lap.
Bhima was like a volcano.
I will burn your hands, Dushasana.
Duryodhana, do not disgrace the royal family of the Kurus.
Dushasana, a servant need not have rich robes.
Snatch her sari. Dushasana started pulling the sari of Draupadi. She begged all the elders to protect her.
Elders of this royal assembly, to be dishonored is to die. Please save me. My father had faith in the strength of your arms and gave me to you. In an open assembly, I am being dishonored, but you sit with folded arms. Are you not ashamed? Oh Lord Krishna, you are always kind to your worshippers. Please do not forsake me. Oh, protector of the helpless, you are my only rescuer.
She closed her eyes and her mind was fixed on Lord Krishna. Suddenly, Draupadi's sari became endless. Dushasana went on pulling her sari. The saris rose in a heap. Dushasana's hands were tired.
What if the sari becomes endless? You are a servant in my pants.
Duryodhana, you will die with a broken thigh.
The court trembled at her terrible oath. The earth shook. Comets filled the sky. There were ill omens on all sides.
I will break Duryodhana's thighs into pieces. I will tear open Dushasana's chest and drink his blood.
I will wash my hair with the blood of Duryodhana. Until then, I will not dye my hair. It is a promise.
You should not curse like this. You are a good and righteous woman. Ask me for a boon.
Father, please release my husbands. We don't want anything else.
Dhritarashtra liberated the Pandavas and Draupadi. He even gave back their kingdom. Draupadi and Pandavas left Hastinapur with a heavy heart. The Kauravas were angry. They had won the kingdom cunningly, but their father had given it back. They decided that the only way was to play dice again. Another invitation was sent to Yudhishthira to come and play. The party which was defeated would have to give up the whole kingdom and remain in the forest for 12 years, and then for another year live without being recognized by others. If they were recognized by anybody during that period, then they had to repeat the 12 years stay in the forests. This was the condition of the match. Yudhishthira was defeated again. The Pandavas gave up their royal robes. Draupadi followed her husbands. So, the forest life of the Pandavas began. Sri Krishna was the beloved god of Draupadi. He did not forget his devotees in the forest, but visited them now and then. Many sages also visited the Pandavas now and then and guided them. The sun god gave Yudhishthira a magic vessel. This vessel would not become empty until Draupadi's meal was over. So, everyone was fed very well. Draupadi would eat at the end. After that, the vessel could not be used on that day. Duryodhana took away the kingdom of the Pandavas and sent them to the forest, but still he was unhappy. Once the sage Durvasa went to him. Duryodhana treated him with great courtesy and hospitality. Duryodhana, I am greatly pleased. Please ask me what you want.
Great Guru, with hundreds of your disciples, please go to the forest and ask for the hospitality of the Pandavas. Durvasa agreed and left for the forest with 100 disciples. Yudhishthira greeted them respectfully and requested them to accept his hospitality. Durvasa Rishi agreed. He went with his disciples to have his bath and offer worship before the meal. Please serve food for 100 people.
My lord, I have also finished my meal, and so I have cleaned the vessel. I am totally confused. What shall we do now?
My God, I have asked everyone to come for food. Draupadi was now scared. She knew about Durvasa's temper. If he gets angry, he can burn down people to ashes.
Lord Krishna, you are my savior all through my life. Please help me, my lord.
Immediately, Krishna appeared before her. Draupadi, I am hungry. What will you give me? Draupadi was overjoyed that Krishna had come in answer to her prayer, but her vessel was empty. Bring your vessel here. Draupadi fetched the clean and bright vessel. Somewhere inside the vessel, there was a small fragment of a vegetable. Krishna put it into his mouth. He said his hunger was over and he feels as if he had a great meal. At the same moment, Sage Durvasa and the Brahmins were returning after bathing in the river Yamuna. All of a sudden, everyone felt as if they had a sumptuous meal with many delicacies. Yudhishthira, after the bath, we all feel as if we had a sumptuous meal. We will come some other day. Your righteousness will always protect you. Draupadi and Yudhishthira were overjoyed and thanked Lord Krishna for his mercy. The period of 12 years that they had to spend in the forest was over. Next, the Pandavas had to spend a year without revealing their identity. Yudhishthira disguised himself as a pious Brahmin. He assumed the name of Kankabhatta and entered the place of Virata, the country of King Matsya. Bhima joined service in the kitchen of Virata, taking the name of Valalan. Arjuna, to be known as Brihannala, taught dancing to the princesses. Nakula joined the royal stables as a supervisor, and Sahadeva began to look after the palace dairy. Draupadi went to Queen Sudheshna and begged to be taken as one of her attendants. The queen was more than surprised at the great beauty of Draupadi.
Who are you? Where do you come from?
I am the wife of 5 Gandharvas who are divine musicians. I am expert at doing the hair. I shall stay with you for 1 year and then go away.
Alright, I'm happy to have you with me.
Keechaka was Queen Sudheshna's younger brother and a very strong man. Once he saw Draupadi, he was moved by her great beauty and wanted to marry her.
Brother, though she is a servant, she is a very virtuous woman. She is the wife of 5 Gandharvas. Do not think bad about her.
Keechaka did not give ear to his sister. Enough of the service. Come and be my queen.
Leave such evil thoughts, or else you will be killed.
Keechaka tried to woo Draupadi every day. Draupadi was like a cobra whose hood had been touched. But Draupadi could not control her anger and agony. That night, she went to bed and wept. In the dead of the night, she quietly went to Bhima.
My lord, while Keechaka tortures me, there is no one to protect me. I came with some trust and confidence in you. With 5 heroes as my husbands, there is none to protect my honor. Justice and morality always bind Yudhishthira. Arjuna is busy teaching dancing. Nakula and Sahadeva are not strong enough. After you took to cooking, your arms also have become weak. What could you do? You are not to blame. But it is not 1 or 2 insults I have suffered. I only caused trouble to you people, and I am the source of all trouble. At least permit me to die.
Calm yourself. Make Keechaka come to the dancing hall
I will finish his story. The next day, Keechaka came to the queen's apartment and he began to follow and tease Draupadi.
Come tonight to the dancing hall.
Keechaka's joy knew no bounds. He went that night to the dancing hall. Bhima pounced upon him. But Keechaka was not an ordinary man. There was a terrific fight. And Bhima killed him. The next day there was commotion in Virata Nagara. The city was full of rumors. Queen Sudheshna wept in sorrow. Keechaka's brothers boiled with rage that because of her, their eldest brother had been killed. They determined to burn Draupadi along with Keechaka's body and caught hold of her. Bhima went quietly to the cremation ground. He uprooted some trees, took them with him, and beat the wicked ones to death with those trees. Thus, Draupadi was saved from the wicked Keechaka.